Hey Wooddale students, my name is Emma Hertig and I am here giving you your Wednesday in the Word. And so I'm so thankful to be able to have the opportunity to share with you something that I have been learning about, something that I have been just learning from for so many years of my life, from this particular passage, coming to you live from our new backyard in Chaska, Minnesota. It's pretty exciting stuff. So as we dive in, we are going to be looking at John 15. And so make sure that you kind of bookmark that, read the whole chapter once you get a chance, because that's my actual favorite chapter of the entire Bible is John 15, not 1 John, but John 15, one of the Gospels. So in that chapter, in the very beginning, Jesus is talking, and he's talking about vines and branches, and maybe you've heard of those words before that Jesus has talked about. But as you can see behind me, there's a lot of foliage, as one would say. And with that comes a lot of stuff that kind of needs to be done. And so maybe some of you do landscaping or yard work for a job, or maybe your parents just have you, help around when there's yard work to be done on a Saturday morning. And so what I'm going to talk to you about that relates to John 15 is that idea of pruning. And so what Jesus says is that the things that are not bearing fruit are pruned, even in the things that are bearing fruit are pruned so that you can bear even more fruit. And I think sometimes in our lives we get afraid of that. I know for myself, when pruning happens, it feels really painful. It feels like loss. It feels unfair. And I want you to know that that is so incredibly normal. It is so okay to feel that way, because when things happen in our lives that are kind of getting pruned or taken away, it can be really tough. So as we go over here, I want to talk to you about what does it mean to prune. And so when I think about pruning, think about a tree. Okay, think about a certain tree, and you think of it and it has all these branches, and some branches have maybe fruits, maybe that it has leaves and things, and they're really, really healthy. And then some of the other branches do not, and they are dead, and they just aren't bearing any sort of fruit and aren't alive anymore. So first, let's talk about the ones that aren't alive anymore. So when those things happen in our lives, so let's say you have a relationship in your life, maybe with a friend, maybe with someone you've been friends with for even a really long time, and it's not really, bearing fruit in the ways of, like, you're not a better person, they're not encouraging you, they're not caring for you as a friend should, or maybe you are involved in some sort of habits or just things in your life that aren't good for you. Maybe you've been with a group of friends, or you find yourself gossiping a lot, and maybe that just isn't giving any fruit in your life. Maybe there's just a certain activity that you do. Maybe it's a sport, maybe it's an activity through school that didn't give you life, doesn't give you life the way that it once did. Or maybe something happens to you where you didn't even realize that maybe it didn't kind of bear fruit in your life, and God kind of pruned it for you. So there's two different kinds of prune with that kind of dead branch, and that's that God does it for you, or you can do it yourself. Both are hard. Both are things that we kind of have to accept. Maybe for ourselves, we have to accept that there are things that we're choosing to do that aren't life-giving and aren't going to be bearing fruit in our lives. And while that's harmful, it'll be really good in the long run, and God can bear fruit in those things later on. But then there's things that are really good. Think about all the good things in your life. Think about, your friendships, your family, maybe it's a sport you really like doing, maybe it's an activity, maybe it's a hobby, whatever it might be, the really good things that are happening in your life. And maybe there was things that were really good in your life that have since kind of been taken away, or you were unable to do because of an injury, or maybe you moved away from friends and things like that, and you're just feeling like, why was this pruned when it was so good? Why did this thing happen even though there really did not seem to be anything wrong in this picture? Let me tell you that that is actually what Jesus is talking about, that even when there's good things happening, God is going to prune those things so that even more good things can be happening. And I want you guys to feel encouraged that even when things come to be pruned, God is doing those things for your good and for His glory, even when it doesn't seem like it. So I want to encourage you guys. I hope that when next time you see maybe a tree, maybe a plant, maybe the next time you're having to, I don't know, garden for your mom or your dad, because I know that was something that I had to do a lot growing up and I will have to do at our new house. I pray that you can think about and be really honest with yourself about the things that you need to prune yourself, that God might be pruning in your life right now, or the good things that God has pruned that has then produced even more fruit. So I hope that this was encouraging to you guys today, and I'm excited to see you all soon. Have a great day.